Trig homework 9 starts off where we're graphing, and we have a line that is in slope-intercept form. We can either graph by making a table or by using the slope and the y-intercept. I personally like to use the slope and the y-intercept, but some people like to do the table. If I'm going to make the table, what I want to do is put values in for x that, since here we have a fraction, would eliminate our fractions, and so we want to use multiples of 5. So I might use 0, 5, and 10 when I put numbers in for x. You could also use a -5 if you want to use a -5. So 1/5 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 4 is -4. 1/5 of 5 would be 1 because the 5s would cancel out. So 1 minus 4 would be -3. 1/5 of 10 would be 2 because 5 goes into 10 twice. 2 minus 4 would be -2. And if I did 1/5 times -5, I'd get -1. -1 minus 4 would be -5. I only really technically have to have 2 points. I like to do more than 2 just so I know my line is straight. But we have, whoops, that didn't go anywhere near where I stuck my pencil, but 0, -4 is going to go way off on my plotting points. All right, let's see if it goes where I want it to now. So 0, -4 over 0, down 4. 5, +5, -3, 1, 2, 3. And then 10, -2, 1, 2. And if I did -5, I'm at -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so you can see that when I connect my dots, if I could draw straight, I could draw my line. Now that's one way of doing it. Putting in numbers for my x, finding my y, plotting my points. The other way is using my slope and y-intercept. If I have the equation y equals mx plus b, we know that the end number is the y-intercept. So in this case, my y-intercept is at -4. I should be touching the y-axis at -4, which was that point right down there. My slope is 1/5. We know that the top is the change in the y direction, the bottom is the change in the x direction, and so we're going to go up 1 and 5 to the right since they're both positive. So from that marked point, my y-intercept, if I go up 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's my next point. Up 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's my next point. Also keeping in mind that if I do have a positive slope, I could make it a negative over a negative, right? -1 over -5 is still +1/5, which means I would go down and to the left, since they're both negative. So if I was here and I went down 1 and to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sure enough, you can see I hit all those same points that I had in my table, and it's probably a whole lot quicker than making the table. So I prefer that second method, but if you want to make a table and plot points, you can. The second one then, if I look at that, my y-intercept is going to be at a +2, so I'm going to mark 2 on my y-axis. My slope is 3/4, so I'm going to go up and to the right since my slope is positive, so up 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2, 3, 4. Up 1, 2, 3, over 1, 2, 3, 4. I could go down and to the left. Down 1, 2, 3, and to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see my dots line up, so I can connect my dots. My slope is positive. It goes uphill as I went from left to right. My y-intercept was at 2, and so there's my line. The third one then, I'm going to graph y equals -1/2 x plus 4. Again, if I look at that, my y-intercept is at +4. My slope is a -1/2, which means I could write it as -1 over 2 or a +1 over a -2. My negative's either on the top or the bottom, not both. So if I do this one, I would go down 1 and 2 to the right. Down 1, 2 to the right. Down 1, 2 to the right. If I did it this way, I would go up 1 and 2 to the left. So up 1 and backwards 2, up 1 and backwards 2. You can see my dots still all line up. As I connect the dots, I'm going downhill because my slope is negative and my y-intercept was at 4.